Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Women Who Rock with Success, which is an award-winning show for professional women. We profile a collective of amazing women who are thriving to build their brand. Women are handpicked in various fields who can provide credible information to build your business and lifestyle. We are live each Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time, followed by our latest brand, Women Who Rock Investigates. To learn more about us, go to our website at www.womenwhorockwithsuccess.com. Now, let's join our podcast host in the studio, Mrs. Diane Winbush.
So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our third episode on today of Women Who Rock with Success Media, and thanks everyone for coming back to tune in with us. On this episode, we have we're going to be talking about management, and of course it takes a professional to be able to help you to be able to build whatever that you are creating. A lot of times we try to build it on different types of platforms, and sometimes we try to build it alone, but it's very, very important that we have someone to be able to help coach us along the way to be able to get that exposure that we need. So to be able to help us to understand a little bit more as to how to do that, we have in the studio with us Dr. Allana Da Graca, and she is here, and she's going to be able to help us. So good afternoon, and welcome to the platform.
Hi, Mrs. Diane. It's so nice to meet you, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Great. So first tell us a little bit about you, of course, and tell us what was your desire and what compelled you to be able to get into brand management, building businesses for other entrepreneurs such as yourself, and to be able to help them to catapult that to the next level.
Sure. So I started Turning on the Lights Global Institute in 2014, and the idea behind that was I really wanted to show women and thought leaders and entrepreneurs how to really share their genius, because a lot of times we're so used to what we do and we think other people understand that. And so with that impetus, I was able to start Turning on the Lights Global Institute, and I started that by going live on Instagram when Instagram first launched itself. So now it's been some time now, and we have given more than 10,000 training hours supporting boss leaders, boss ladies, and entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay. And so, as you know, a lot of us, we use social media, individuals, professionals, entrepreneurs, they utilize social media. Even corporations utilize social media to be able to build more exposure for their brand. So with Turning on the Lights, how did you see social media as to build a six-figure business?
So when I started Turning on the Lights Global Institute, it was at a time where social media for many was still new. This was pre-pandemic. This was early 2000s, mid-2000s, and I knew that this shift into social media content consumption was going to continue to grow. And so at the onset, I said, I really want to remind people that it's not about followers. It's about the actual content. And sometimes it can be difficult to understand that when you're seeing, virality and people focusing on, I've got 20,000 followers. But one thing I try to tell my constituents is that if you are a micro-influencer, that means that you have anywhere between, 500 to maybe up to 3,000 individuals following you. You still have a good place to start. And so for me, it's all about reminding people to really get back to the why behind why they want to do what they want to do and who they want to serve.
Okay. And so what are the 3 steps someone can take to organically build their business online? A lot of times, Dr. Allana, sometimes some individuals will use face-to-face promotions. They will use face-to-face networking elements. And so with what you provide for your audience and for your professional audience, what are the 3 steps that someone can take to organically build their business?
That's a great question. So one of the things I highly stress is a model that I designed called the CLICK model. And so it stands for, the C stands for to have, think about your clear message. Who is it that you want to serve? And, again, what's the why? And then you're talking about the 3 steps. So the first one is to have that clear message. The second step, I would say, is to really locate where your target audience is. And part of that is doing what I call a SWOT of your avatar, meaning, the person that you want to serve, the best type of person, what's their age range, where are they from, what are their beliefs, values, and attitudes, and start thinking about how you post from a user perspective and not so much from the content creator perspective. And when you take on more of the other angle, you can design social posts that really align to your brand. And then lastly, I always remind my constituents that there literally are millions of people searching for solutions every single day, and so they really do need to find you, meaning the person offering the service. So the third step would be to do a Google search of yourself and to really see how aligned your branding and your messaging is.
Okay, now that's face-to-face, absolutely. So we're going to go back to the social media. So in your package, to your entrepreneurs and to your constituents and to those who offer, those who access your products in regards to social media blueprint. So tell us a little bit about that and what that consists of.
Sure. So our digital product, which is called Social Media Blueprint Business Communication Mastery, it is a 6-month experience where an entrepreneur is able to come in with their service or their brand and literally build out the blueprint for a 5 to 6 figure business. And so what happens in that is we really spend time to look at your strengths as an entrepreneur and to look at your digital strategy. What tools will you use? What types of blogs will you write? And we literally craft a customized approach and strategy for each person that comes into our program. We not only have that, but we also have something called Women Build Confidence Coaching, and it's about establishing digital confidence. So it's really about, well, if you're going to be in Zoom, how do you show up in Zoom? If you're going to do a hybrid model in your business, if you're a coach, then how do you deliver a 5-star experience both online and offline? So we have a plethora of programs, and we also have a program called the International Women Build Confidence Conference, where we help leaders really amplify their message and their brand to others.
Absolutely. Now, with the Women Build Conference Accelerator, I guess that's what you were speaking about earlier, and so you offer also something that you had stated too, go on Google, type in your name, and look at yourself. So this offers like a SWOT analysis. This kind of stuck out with me, but I would like for you to be able to share a little bit about that, talk about that a little bit to the audience in regards to that, because I think that is so very important, knowing exactly what you're doing, knowing exactly what you need to change, know exactly what you need to fix for the future on your brand or what you have, and then also some of the weaknesses that the business may have that the entrepreneur or business owner can be able to repair. So if you would to be able to share somewhat of a definition as to the SWOT analysis effect up under your key component.
Yeah, so thank you so much for asking. So it's interesting because a lot of times when people first come in to our business, they want to start really at a high level, and then I realize, well, if you don't feel 5-star, it's hard to charge 5-star, and we're talking about a business. So in order to stay in business, we need to make revenue, and what I found in the Women Build Confidence Accelerator is that we need that time to nurture our boss. We need that time to nurture our value when we think about what we're offering and the value that we provide to others. And also what I love about the accelerator, or what others tell me, is that, sometimes we just need a moment to really maximize our, all the years we spent in what we do and how we serve others, and not shrink back when it comes to, what we're hoping to see in terms of revenue. So the accelerator is just really a great place to begin, and it's just wonderful. It's one of those things where you don't really hear about the foundations of entrepreneurship, but truly if you don't plan to win, right, it's you kind of have what I call a CMF plan, which is a cross my fingers approach. So we really use time in that accelerator to really help women leaders really develop their genius and show their genius without apology.
Okay, and so is the services offered to both men and women, or is this basically targeted for women?
So we serve 93% women, but we do have men in our tribe. We really do. It really just depends on what they're coming in for. And again, we have signature coaching programs. We also have a virtual digital retreat called MyQuest, which is another accelerator that really takes what you would naturally have to do in a year's time and shrinks it down in only 2 weekends. So we have really amazing programs that help you to really get focused and really, help you to get there quicker. We don't do get rich quick anything, but we really realize that some people have everything and they just need an extra push and an extra ability to focus.
Okay, absolutely. So with the workshops that you serve, your customers and clients with. So take us a little bit into that as to what some of the key factors that your audience could expect from the workshops that you provide with the IWBCC. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So
and tell us the
we
enrichment
have
on it.
Yep. We have a couple of things. We have for anyone who's new to IWBCC, we love to welcome you in. There's no cost to be a part of it. And what we do throughout the year is we have what we call leadership pop-ups. And these pop-ups cover everything from branding to how to start from scratch, if you're starting from the very beginning, to how to speak more confidently or how to command a virtual stage. And so we go through all those moments. We also have the International Women Build Confidence Conference, where we have notable speakers like Patty Aubrey from the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and Susie Carter, and we have all these amazing people, but we also elevate people from right within our community. So if they're speakers, authors, coaches, there's opportunity to also be a part of that virtual and live conference. And then lastly, if for anyone that listens that's a part of your unique community, we would love to extend an invitation for them to attend our 4-day accelerator called Upgrade My Life and Biz Challenge. And what happens is we wake up every morning at 7:30 and we activate. We don't think, we don't sit there and just listen. We activate. And so it's an awesome opportunity for any of your members.
Wow, that is so awesome. So besides you providing impeccable information and resources and tools in these workshops, and, you have a podcast as well, and you're also a TEDx speaker, we want to be able to kind of do another spotlight as you as an author. We want to talk about that. And so we want to go into, the first one we want to talk about is The Chronicles of a Poet. So we want to go into that book and for you to be able to share a little bit with the audience of the takeaways that you expect the readers to be able to grasp from that title.
Sure. So Chronicles of a Poet was a wonderful book of poetry because it started when I was living in Portugal, and it was a book of both introspective affirmations that one of the lines I'll just share, it says 5,475 days of regret, all because they told me to be normal. So I wrote this book as a challenge to myself to get off of my procrastination bed and to do something. And so Chronicles of a Poet really says the things that you always wanted to say out loud, but you didn't have enough courage to say it. So I highly recommend people to read it. And just it's really also a bold encouragement to those who really have deep-seated dreams, and maybe they thought, too many years have gone by. But it's a reminder, like, let's wake up. Let's tap into who we really want to be, no matter how old we are. So that book is one of my favorites.
Okay, great. And so we want to reflect on the second one, and it's Tomorrow I Can't Wait, because, and that one kind of jumped out at me there, because a lot of times we do procrastinate sometimes. We need to be working in the now, just like, basically what you were saying from your previous book, Chronicles of a Poet, is, you got to get up. You got to activate it right now. So Tomorrow I Can't Wait for none of us, because whatever we have today, it has to be for today. We need to jumpstart it and work on it today. So take us a little bit into that, some of the takeaways from that book as well, to be able to share with the listeners as to your concept to your readers in regards to Tomorrow I Can't Wait.
Sure. So Tomorrow Can't Wait was truly my personal wake-up call. It's a 40-day experience that walks the reader through daily discussions about how we became who we are today, and from everything from, our formative years, what we heard, good and bad, to regrets and resentments. And my favorite part is there's a portion of that book that talks about our fears, our fear of failure and our fear of success. And, it just, at the end of each one of these chapters, there's something called questions for growth, because it's really in the questions where the person is able to kind of really think about analytically, okay, well, how did whatever I experienced 20 years ago impact my choices today, and what can I do about it? So what I like about the book is it gives you 40 days. My clients say, oh, Dr. Allana, it takes me more than 40 days to go over that. But it starts you off with the 40 days, but then it really makes you just go, wait a minute, let me see what I can do today. So I've had clients buy that book, and after 120 days, they're still like, okay, I'm still on, day 37, But I also want to follow this up. We'll let you know I have a new book coming out. It's coming out actually in September of this year. And I don't know if you want me to go there yet, so I should just pause.
Okay. We're going to go there in just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute. But I want to slice in here. We're going to come back to the books, but then I want to kind of dive off into something else, and then we'll come right back to the two additional books that you have published, and then the one that is coming out that is your new release. So with all of the information that you have to share, it says you help people to be able to share their geniuses without apology. You've sat on a lot of boards and still sit on boards. You're a TEDx speaker. All of these type of things goes into these workshops. It goes into this building, women building confidence accelerator. Tell us, were there any mentors that kind of helped you along the way? Sometimes, women, doesn't matter what stage they're on. It may be corporate America women, who we serve on our podcast, and then we also serve women that are in the acting field with arts and entertainment as well. So with that being said, who were some of your mentors that you perhaps maybe could think about that says, you know what, even when I perhaps maybe wanted to quit, I did look at this person right here and said, no, I think they have the capacity to move forward, and so do I. I mean, everybody has like an inspiration or an individual, I think they do, that they perhaps maybe can refer to help them down through the years, or to help them to get started and say, this is what I want to do. So were there any mentors, not to personally help you, but mentors that perhaps maybe have inspired you?
Sure, absolutely. So first and foremost, one mentor / advisor I have to acknowledge is definitely my husband. I mean, even though we're together, he's also my advisor and just always supportive from day one. So he's someone definitely there. But when I think back to my earlier years, I have to say there was a woman who inspired me the most, and her name was Dr. Alexandrina Deschamps. She's now retired. She was my college professor, and this woman would look at me and she would know if I wrote anything, if I said anything. She knew when I gave my most, and she knew when I was just getting by. And she, for the even up to now as an adult, she has always been there, just kind of reminding me never to shrink the things that I feel are important to say. I also want to acknowledge individuals like many people know, like Lisa Nichols and Susie Carter from Motivating the Masses and SC Enterprises, because these individuals showed me what it is to be a boss, what the difference between, having a passion and then turning that into a dream that is a business. So their influence definitely played a major role into the woman I am today.
That's
and,
awesome.
Of course,
that
all the notables
so awesome.
that we hear, like, from afar, like Les Brown and Jim Rohn and Napoleon Hill and all those individuals that I would listen to definitely also played a strong influence.
Okay, great. So we want to get back to your books real quick. And so we want to talk about the Sidonia's Chronicles. Now, when you hear about Chronicles, of course, you think about Harry Potter, of course. So we want to see what your perspective. We want to see what your perspective is on these Chronicles, and what are some of the takeaways from your readers. What is it that you desire for them to grasp from this?
Well, I love the question and how you referenced that, because actually, if you think of Chronicles of a Poet and then Sidonia's Chronicles, well, Sidonia is a character that I have created partly from my own experience and then the experience of a lot of women. And really what is amazing about this particular book is you see Sidonia deal with things like colorism, low self-esteem, confidence, like all the things that many women of color experience but don't necessarily have a platform to share. And so she shares all these things through poetry. And there is a poem in there called 120 Days, and it's all about, how could she live her life differently if she only had 120 days or 4 months to live. And so that book really brings you more into a story of a young lady turning into a esteemed woman and learning how to forgive her past and those that hurt her, and also forgive herself for maybe having, choices that didn't always make her exemplify her best self. So Sidonia is and Chronicles all ties into a volume of work that I am consistently always going to be working on relative to creative writing and poetry, because I think it just allows me to be more expressive about some of the things we don't always hear or often hear about just womanhood or coming of age.
Absolutely. And so I think the last one that we want to reflect on is the Women Build Confidence Coaching. Now, this is something that is very, very important for women. After they have went to the conference, after they have went to the workshop, after they have went to the seminar, after they have went to the TEDx speaking, people still, especially women, I think when it comes to women, we're a little bit more emotional, and we need a little bit more push. We need a little bit more drive. So how does your book be able to help women in this area, people and women, I guess I can say, because even after all of that is over with, a woman still wants to go home and read a good book, or she wants to read a good, I'm serious, even after the workshops and they done met everybody and they done passed out their business cards, every woman still wants to go home and pick up, take off do their little shower, take off their corporate America clothing or attire, I guess I would say, and then after everything is over with, let me see exactly what Dr. Allana is trying to say, because sometimes things can be noisy, people are trying to listen, you got other people that are playing on pads, they're doing everything, even when you're at an event, but at the end of the day, they want to come home and they want to pick up a good book. We want to see exactly what Dr. Allana is offering, even additionally to whatever she has already offered to us for this day in this session. So talk to us a little bit about that, because you know what, Dr. Allana, I think is very, very important when we're teaching groups and crowds of people. It is very, very good that, how we mentor individuals through our writing, through our devotionals, through different handbooks and individual. And you know what? One thing about women, we love to answer questions, especially when it's in a book. So talk to us a little bit about Women Build Confidence Coaching and what that consists of.
Yes. So thank you so much. You're absolutely right. You know, one thing we would do with that actual book is we would have women dress up in red and get roses and make them have what I call a love day, and it would just be amazing. And so one thing the ladies would always tell me is, okay, we want to, like you said, we want to go home, we want to get, snuggle and get our little coffee or chocolate and then do the question. So the book is a small book, but what I love about it, it's a 5-week experience where every week you get to focus on one aspect. So one of them can be, okay, give yourself permission to wipe the slate clean. Like, how do you start from scratch if you don't feel wonderful, or how do you pick one goal and create micro goals? So the Women Build Confidence book is really a journal experience where over a 5-week period, if you focus on one goal, you can really see change or transformation in that one area. So for some people, when they get the book, they might say, okay, I'm going to pick one goal. It's going to be, saving more money. Someone else might be having a better, more fitness in my life or having better relationships. So the book is a book that allows you quickly to pick one goal and focus on it over a 5-week period so you can set micro goals to see those goals become a reality.
Okay, awesome. So what is the next chapter for you? What is it
That's
that you want
question.
your audience? What is your next chapter? What you want women? You got look, Dr. Allana, you got this impeccable profile. And so, and the first thing I thought, I'm like, what else could she be doing in the next 5 years? What is it else that she could be able to bring to the table after all of this work, all of these conferences, these seminars, and all of these things? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, or where do you want the audience to see you? Because we know that people build from us, right? They build from us. People build from you, and what have you. All of these amazing clients that you have, people are building from Dr. Allana. So what is it that where you want your audience to view you and see you in the next 5 years?
That's such a great question.
I
really want to, my hope is that I kind of, it's a big vision, obviously, right, when you see all these works coming out. But the big thing, one of the things that motivates me the most is the look of resentment that women have when they look out the window, right? So one of my visions 5 years from now is to see hundreds and hundreds of people all over the world understanding that phrase that I always say, upgrade my life in biz. I can't upgrade, because there are so many people after the age of 35 who think that their dreams are subdued and they're no longer, they don't. There's nothing new to look forward to. So my hope is that there are just scores of people that said, oh, no, I read, you didn't go to Dr. Allana's, event where we could be reminded that our age doesn't matter. And I do have a song out called Upgrade My Life. And one of my goals is to be able to see hundreds and hundreds of people singing that song as a reminder to themselves that you can be the central character in your own movie, even no matter what you've gone through, or no matter if you've experienced something traumatic or not traumatic, or you're going through a transition, you can always make the choice to upgrade. That's my message.
And I think that is, okay, great. And I think that is so very important. I applaud women such as yourself that picks up the mantle to continue to provide so many things for women. We had a producer that was on the show of NBC Nightly News, and so after the 2008 economic crash, women had to come in, and those that lost their job at the corporate level, they had to come in and revise a lot of things. And so not just only that, even during COVID-19, we still going through COVID-19. But anyway, there are so many women that come on the show. They are looking for answers. These are not the women that you see in the grocery store. These are corporate American women. They are looking to redefine themselves. They are looking to move out of, Some complain about this dominant male, workforce environment that they have to work in, and we understand that. But when it comes to women desiring to encourage other women, and we always share on our story. You can't come on here for free. You have to be able to give in order to be able to, receive as well. So, of course, we encourage the listeners, and that's the reason why we always give the guests an opportunity to be able to share all of their work with the audience, so they can be able to follow them, purchase their books or what have you and things. But I think it's so very important that women at this period in life, that they have someone and somebody to go to in order to get the answers that they need, so they don't become procrastinated. And I think that's very important, and such as what you do today. So we're honored to have you on our show as a guest today, to be able to share all of those elements with our team. So with that being said, of course, we want you to be able to share your latest release, how the audience can be able to find you on any social media platforms that you are willing to share, and then also any upcoming events that you may be sharing with your brand that you're doing, so they can be able to either participate or be able to follow you and share with them, whether it's virtual or in person, because that's very, very important as well.
All right, so thank you so much. So first of all, for any of your listeners, you can find me on Instagram at Dr. D Inspire with a Y. You can also head to drallanadagraca.com. Now, the new book I have coming out is called Upgrade My Life and Biz, and it will be released in mid-September, so definitely catch the website for any updates about the book, the new release. For anyone who's listening in your audience, I'd love to invite them to be a part of our Upgrade My Life and Biz Challenge as a prelude to that book launch, and it will be happening online from September 14th to September 18th, 2022, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning, including Saturday. We're calling all Eagles, and so that's how you can get in touch with me.
Okay, great. And so you heard what she said, audience. She's calling all Eagles, so that means you can't be limbo in the bed. You have to get up. You got to be willing to fly and soar high up in the air. All Eagles, they get up early in the morning. They're the early bird. They catch the worm. So thank you once again for being our guest on the day. And listeners, you can, of course, go to our website at www.womenwhorockWithSuccessMedia.com for all upcoming events, or if you just want to just browse through the website, that's good too. So we'll see you here Tuesday, and then next Thursday too, as well as we broadcast more professionals to our audience. Again, Dr. Allana, we've had a pleasure for you to be in our studio today, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Take care.